On average, women after delivery will take about 6 weeks of recovery. If you've had a vaginal delivery, most women will stay for about 1 to 2 days if there's no complication. For a woman who has a cesarean section, on average they will stay in hospital for about 3 to 4 days. However, most women will go back to the 90% of feeling back to normal in about 6 weeks time.
I don't know about that. I don't think I was one of the 90%.
Did you? Majority of women do that, not all. You're probably the 10% that will not go back to normal, but majority of women usually by about 6 weeks will start doing most of the normal things that they are doing.
By 6 weeks, I think I remembered I was still in some degree of pain because I had a very big baby, so it took me a while to for my bones to reform and go back. And around 6 weeks or somewhere after that, my hair started dropping so much. That really affected my self-esteem.
When it comes to changes in your body, okay, that sometimes can take longer. Some women do experience hair dropping postnatally, but it's all usually temporary. It's not going to be after about 6 weeks on the dot that everything's going to be brilliant. Some women will take longer, and some women will probably take a bit shorter than that. You know the crampy pains that you get? That's quite normal for women to have up to about 6 weeks, because remember, your womb is going to be trying to shrink back to the normal very small size, from the baby size to the very small size. So that will take a few weeks usually.
I do remember.
But you recovered.
I recovered, yes. Pain-free now, great. But I do remember the first 6 weeks, or probably even the first 2 months. Traditionally, we have been asked to bind to help with the womb shrinking and bones coming back. It was just really quite an interesting experience, watching what to eat, how to look after myself. And then there were so many physical changes and emotional changes happening, and a second baby, and having to manage 2 at that time.
I think the some of the practice that women do with the binding and all that to try and shrink the uterus, that's not really evidence-based, but it's more about culture and what a lot of women have been doing. I mean, the main thing about recovery after you deliver is continue with healthy eating, continue with being active, don't just lie down and do nothing, okay? And also healthy diet, healthy lifestyle, and slowly to go back to your exercises and eating correctly, and that does actually help with your recovery as well. And remember as well that you have a baby, and if you are breastfeeding as well, then your menses may not be coming back as soon, because breastfeeding can delay your menses coming back, or you may have still irregular bleeding beyond 6 weeks, but these are all normal changes that you have after delivery.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do remember, with the breastfeeding, there was no period for a good time. And I was like, okay, that was a good exchange. But then, after that, subsequently, when the bleeding stopped, that was really good. And then it was just focused on producing milk for the baby.